Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast.
And we get the back view of him. And I mean, it's just a mega.
52 yards is a long shot. Magnum PI, what we named him. No idea.
Just a magnum.
Yeah, just a magnum.
Come on cam last year. We said probably 150, mid 150.
Yeah.
Same doe from the morning come out with that 9-pointer.
Here steps out this 90-inch 8-pointer. You're like,
I'm like, okay, well, there's still a buck back there grunting.
Yeah.
And then out steps like another 90-inch 8-pointer. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm like, deer, right there.
Yeah, like
and he's already
yards.
30 yards.
Yeah.
He was literally 5 yards from the base of the tree. Could have been, had a buck down at 1:40 in the afternoon, back there deep on public. 3 does come out pretty early. It was like 245, 24-yard shot, sent the combat veteran, and I tell you what, man, dude, it just smoked. We always get so jacked up when the other person kills. It's just almost like we got it done.
Yeah. And when you killed that doe, I was like, hell yeah, man.
And we come down here to Missouri.
I asked Comey one more time. I'm like, is it a good buck? And he goes, yeah, real good, solid buck. I'm like, all right, boom. And the deer just drops. Sure. Super special to me.
Whitetail Legacy Podcast, bringing you back to the hunt and leaving a legacy. Baller Rut.
This is a Whitetail Legacy Podcast coming at you in your ear holes. They thought I wasn't going to say it.
Right?
They thought for a second I wasn't going to say that. If this is your first time listening, we are a Whitetail Podcast, and we are super jacked about this episode. We're talking rut hunting 101, grinding through the nonstop all-day sits. And we're talking to Moose. That's a super solid nickname.
Oh, it fits him perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly, yeah. Ryan Glitsky. This guy's killing buck after buck consistently in PA on highly pressured ground. You hear PA, everybody's talking about, oh, man, there ain't a forked horn out here. You know what I mean? And this dude's getting it done, and super successful, super solid dude. You guys, if you want to have the best rut hunt of your life, This is an episode for you to soak up something, get in there, and try it out. We're going to get into the people that make this possible, and we'll get into the show. The VIP, Veteran Innovative Products. Guys, it's time of year to get your broadheads under control. Season is like right now. You know what I mean? It's so close. We're jacked if you can't tell. We already shot the broadheads, flying good. Everything's rock solid. Do you have the VIP Veteran Broadhead shout-out?
Yeah, this week's shout-out is Henry Applegate, and we've been kind of lackluster on the Air Force squad, so I reached out and got some information from a guy who was in the Air Force for 8 years, and did I say his name, Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah, Henry Applegate. We appreciate your service for the 8 years, man, and shout-out to the Air Force guys.
Yeah, any veterans that are out there listening, Air Force, Marines, Army, we don't care, man. Let us shout you out. Send us an email, whitetail_legacy@yahoo.com. We'll get you on an episode. Thank you for your service. If you don't want to go through the whole, send an email thing, we appreciate you. All right. Exodus trail cam tip of the week. We're going to go back and do the paracord tip. We used a paracord today, and the stuff that we're tying these trail cams on, the bush is just getting tangled up. Something fierce out there. So paracord's the way to go. Super easy. I'm just doing slip knot with a double knot on the back to secure it, making them rock solid. And with our new cheap-ass sticking picks,
yes,
it's working real nice. So let's get into Embry Custom Woodworking's all your custom call needs right there in Roseville, Illinois.
And Next Level is up next. Cody's over there giving me sign language like I know what that means. Next Level dealer shout-out for the week is going to be Brandon Nunnenkamp. He's going to be in the KC, Missouri area. And if you're in that area, you can give him a reach out at 816-547-8675. And that is Brandon Nunnenkamp. And if you want to check them out, you can check them out at nextleveldeer.com as well.
All right, we got a new one for you guys. We had a company reach out, wanted to help the legacy grow a little bit and get this out to you guys. It's called Buck Book. I'll run it down real quick for you. Our friends at Buck Book have created an online database to share, age, and score your deer. In 3 steps, you can share your buck. You can use a trail cam picture, or after you have killed the deer. You can share this picture with the public on their page, or you can even get an expert opinion on age and gross score of your buck from trail cam pictures. Their panel of experts are widely recognized as some of the most knowledgeable whitetail specialists across the country. You can use this on your phone, your tablet, or your computer. You can upload a picture, entering information about the deer, including its location, property type. If you're using any supplemental feed, if you are, and you can go check them out at buckbook.com. I think this is great, guys. It's there's a lot of newer listeners that use this or listen to this podcast, and I think this is a great way to do it. If you do this on social media, regular social media, there's going to be about 6 people that hose you real hard. You know what I mean? It's because a lot of those pages, people are posting pictures, asking the score, and a lot of people are tired of it, or they just want to be an asshole for 3 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this is a safe way to do that, to get some like honest opinions. This is what this page is for. So if there's someone on that page, this is what they're going to be doing. You know what I mean? And it's cool to get a trail cam picture and look at it, but if you can have 300 people look at it and give you an opinion, and you know you're not going to get any hate from it, I think it's a great idea. And it's just another company that wanted to help the legacy grow a little bit, so we're going to be running some ads for them for this month. And we're going to get right into Ingram's Outdoor Obsession, all your taxidermy needs. And Last Breath TV, guys, season is coming like tomorrow. For a lot of people, it's in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of other people, it's really close. We're a month out here. And Last Breath TV, we've been friends with them for 2 years now, 2.5 years, right? Mm-hmm. And the dudes are like rock solid. Like, if you needed anything from these guys, they're going to give it to you. They're going to try to make it happen. And they're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and you can watch this guy. They have years of content, like super solid content. You know what I mean? And we just wanted to put their name out on our podcast to get them some exposure. If you guys are wanting to scratch that itch, check them out, man. Last Breath TV, I mean, they got bear, antelope, mule deer. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff on there. And they're killing really high-class deer in Central Illinois.
Yeah, and new season's going to be starting to air Saturday, September 9th, and they're going to be dropping a new episode every Saturday until they're done. So they're also doing a Throwback Thursday every Wednesday, or every Thursday, and live every Wednesday, and they're releasing video podcasts on Monday. So
nice.
Basically, they're giving you 5 days of high-quality content on their YouTube channel, so you guys definitely need to be subscribing in, and if you have to wait till October 1st like we do, that is definitely going to carry you through the month of September.
All right, let's get into the show. All right, we got Ryan Glitsky on tonight. How you doing, man?
Good, real good. How are you guys?
Doing great. Just cracked a cold one, sat down, had a hell of a hike
earlier
today. Pretty wore out, but
I like your guys' $3 stick and pick. That was a pretty slick idea.
Yeah, it works pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. We're going to have you on here. We're going to talk about just preparing yourself to hunt the rut on public land. You're a rut hunter, putting all-day sits in back to back to back, nonstop. And I know that sounds easy when you say it, but when you do it, there's a lot more that goes involved. You got to think about a lot of stuff to prepare yourself for that, 30 seconds of glory, you know what I mean?
Yes, yep.
Before we get into that, go ahead and let the listeners know a little bit about yourself.
My name is Ryan Glitsky. I'm from Southwest Pennsylvania, born and raised here. I work in the nuclear industry, union shop, so pays the bills. Gives a little extra for chasing these whitetails. My hobby, I would say, would be, lifting and hitting the gym. But my passion, obsession, addiction, whatever you're going to call it, is chasing whitetails. There's just there's nothing more I'd rather do. It's 365, 24/7. It is nonstop whitetails.
Nice. Yeah, that's why when I messaged you, I was like, man, I'd seen some posts, and I knew that you were a friend with Chad, and Chad had talked about you. I'm like, we got to have this guy on. He's hitting it hard. He's hunting highly pressured state of PA and consistently getting it done on really solid class deer. So I'm really excited to pick your brain at some stuff going on. But start from the basics. So season's over. We're starting. We want to prepare to have the best rut ever in 2021. What are we going to start doing right now? Season's over. What are we gonna do?
Well, as soon as the season's over for me, typically in PA, our bow season runs to about mid-November, and then our rifle season comes in right after Thanksgiving for a couple weeks. Then right after that, you got Christmas and everything. And that time right there, I usually, everything's kind of slowing down a little bit around the holidays, enjoy the family. I kind of recharge my batteries for a couple weeks, but that's when I got the pen out and notepad out. I'm starting to look at new areas for the upcoming year, and even go back to areas I've already been into for that year, kind of tweak some setups or whatever I need to do. But usually I'm on Onyx. I'm starting to look at new areas, starting to break down, put some pins on the Onyx, and start making a game plan there. And then typically, depending on the weather in Pennsylvania, about mid-January, it's boots on the ground, and my postseason scouting starts. In my opinion, this is the number one thing for killing them during the rut. My postseason starts typically mid-January, the whole way through till turkey season comes in beginning of May. It's boots on the ground. Typically how I do it is I'm looking for thick cover. I hunt a highly pressured state. It gets bad sometimes. Even the small game pressure is high. Typically what I do is I'm looking for cover. I'm looking for terrain features, funnels, hard transitions in around those areas. That's what I'm looking for typically. And be honest with you, a lot of the funnels, the pinch points I find, you're not going to find on a map. It's boots on the ground. Sometimes it's just a small ditch or something you'll find in the woods. And be honest, I think the longer you do this, you get that sixth sense when you find a spot. When I get that sixth sense, it's like I'll stop. It's like, why? And it's kind of like I do a macro and a micro breakdown of that area. The macro is basically what I do is, my bag goes down, my maps come out. What's telling me I need to be in this area? And typically, I zoom out on Onyx. You start looking at everything, breaking it down, looking at the bedding areas and all this stuff, and then trying to put two and two together with that. And then what I do on the micro level is now I'm starting to get into the fine details of my stand placement, looking at thermals, wind direction, access, all that stuff. I'm starting to look into, I'm a big scrape hunter. I'm real big in hunting primary scrapes or putting mock scrapes in. Pretty much every one of my stands has a scrape in it. And there's also where my camera locations are going to be, which is real key. We can only hunt so many places during the season. Some places are new I just don't get to, but that camera's there for months, 6, 8, 9, 10 months. I can go back after the season, pull that card. I know if that area is hot or not at a certain time of year. That historic data is huge and it helps the learning curve, especially in new areas. But that's pretty much how I break down, find my spots that way. And then usually once my postseason scouting is done, then it starts getting to my trail cameras. Typically June, July, I'm starting to put my trail cameras out. Anymore, I'd rather put my cameras on scrapes. Some on tight funnels, but the minerals, we can do a little bit of minerals in certain areas here. Some of the state game leagues we can't. I've been having better luck on scrapes. I'm just getting bigger and more mature deer on the scrapes. And that's been really key, especially this year for me in the big woods. It's almost when I'm scouting, I'm finding these funnels, these transitions, these pinches in around thick cover. A lot of times there's a scrape there. It's almost like they're putting X on the map for you to where to hunt. You know what I mean? And typically what I do is I run buck fever synthetics in my scrapes. Pretty good results for that. Typically I'll run about every 4 to 6 weeks. I'll go in and doctor that back up, check my camera, see what I got going in there, stuff like that. And then usually that I'll start this time of year. I'll start my stand prep, hang a couple sets or whatever like that and get ready for the season. And then it's pretty much trail cameras, bounce around, check them a little more often closer to the season. Once the season comes rolling in, I try to check them, depending on the area where I'm hunting, the information I get. I'll try to, maybe every 3, 4, 5 days, just depending on my access to the areas. And once I get a good buck, then that's usually where I'm going to be planting my butt. One thing I noticed for the trail cameras also is I don't care if I get nighttime picks. And a lot of people I've heard, oh, he's only at night, he's only night. In a rut, I don't care. If I get a buck showing up on a scrape at night, it could be 2 a.m. A lot of times I've seen, now sometimes you get a straggler through, yeah. But a lot of times what I've noticed is I will hunt in that general area. I will see him and get an opportunity to him a lot of times. I've noticed that. So, and then it just, the rut rolls in and it's the grind. It's, how it is. It's up early in the morning at 3:30 and, you're putting a 12-hour day in pretty much every day, and just grinding. Big thing I don't do too is I don't bounce around a whole lot. Once I get, I have a couple opportunities on camera. I get in an area that may have 2 or 3 shooters. I'm not going to bounce around a lot. I have no problem sitting in a stand for 2, 3, 4 days in a row to get an opportunity at a deer. I've killed a lot of my good bucks, not on the first sit all the time. Sometimes the 3rd, 4th, or 5th sit, that's when I've killed them. So just that stuff works for me, and that's the tactic that I usually implement every year for the rut.
Yeah, we're the same way. If we know that a spot's fire and there's a bunch of picks of bucks in there, whether they're night, day, all it takes is one doe, or lose a doe, or a hunter come in and boom, there he is. If he's in that area, you need to be in that area somewhere too. You know what I mean? And a lot of people see that picture at 2, like you said, and they're like, oh, he's bedding a mile away and coming up here. The only reason he's there that time of year is does. And those does are there. Yep. Those does aren't traveling a lot that time of year. They're going bed to food. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he's going to be in that area. But a couple things you said that I think we should go back on. I feel like a lot of people look at the maps, they find those pinches, and me and homie all do this a lot. Those pinches that aren't on the maps, and you get in there and you start walking around, we hunt multiple of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the ones you're looking for the mature bucks. Like anybody can see an inside corner or a saddle, and guess what? I'll put money on it. The obvious ones you see on Onyx, there's probably 2 or 3 tree stands there, especially in this area where I hunt. And I think those bucks, they get peppered at 1.5 years, 2 years old, 3 years old. They kind of learn, I probably shouldn't go through during the daylight. Yeah, you get an oddball buck coming through during the rut or something, but I think it's the subtle pinches that those big ones will use during daylight hours. They don't expect you to be in those spots.
Yeah, and a lot of ours are water, pinched around water, little ponds, lakes. What we're finding out throughout time is, there'd be like a steep hill, and you hear a lot of people, oh, whitetail take the easiest path. Deer around here, they run right up that sucker. It could be, it could be damn near 90 degrees, and you're grabbing trees to run it, to pull up it, and they're just right up it. So we pretty much X those out as funnels at all. But going back to when you said you find an area and you're like, oh, this is it, this is the spot, and then we found one of those this year, and we're like, oh, this is it.
Oh, that's 6 cents, man. I think that comes with. Everybody wants to know what, I think everybody's, you see, products out there they're trying to sell you. Everything's a secret sauce. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, there is a secret sauce to this, to consistently killing big bucks. First off, you got to be in an area where there is big bucks. That's key there. You got to have it's a numbers game. Second thing is boots on the ground. The more time you're in the woods, more time you're out there and learning, you become a good woodsman. Somebody that's a good woodsman can kill a big buck anywhere, in my opinion. Once that person gets that, they can kill one anywhere in the country. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting every year. I can see us gaining and learning and getting better. But that's where 5 years ago I think we struggled. We knew where we'd seen bucks in the past, and we were just hunting that area, but we weren't mentally breaking down why the bucks were there. And once we started doing that, then you start looking at stuff, and then one place that you hunted 2 years ago kind of looks like this place. You're like, well, there was big bucks here, and I don't know how many times I've said it. If there's big bucks in an area, they're there for a reason. If there's an area that's kind of like that somewhere else, they're probably there. Yeah,
I'm always looking for, when I'm breaking down a piece of timber, I'm looking for the kill tree. And once you find that location and you get that tree, my personal opinion, unless something drastic changes, you could pretty consistently kill a good buck out of that same tree every year. It might not be the same buck year after, he's still making it through, but it's just something about an area mature bucks are going to go through. And you can find a handful of those in a certain area. You can consistently kill bucks in the rut. Like some people are going to say, the rut, oh, it's all luck, blah, blah. And some people are bed hunters in mid-October, whatever works for you. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is what works for me. but there's a lot of work that goes into it to get to a certain point, to get those magical 15, 20 seconds every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's still a lot of work involved with the, the preparation, the scouting and everything else. This year, I'll probably by the season starts, I'll have 200 miles on my boots. You know what I mean? From January up until October, scouting and with everything going on. That's what it takes for, pressured public land. You got to put the time in. You have to, if you want to be consistent, killing good deer.
Yeah. And I feel like you got to look at, you're looking at a giant piece and you got to X some shit off of there. You know what I mean? So you can look at the map and it might look like 90% of the other stuff, but we X'd off a bunch of stuff. They're like, well, can't hunt here. There's no way to get down this ravine to get in there. Exit. There's no way there. We know that we can hunt around it. We can hunt around that area. If the deer are there, they're coming on trail camera, we can bounce around them. But if they're not coming out of that ditch that they're in before dark, we're going to have to machete our way down in there to get on them. You know what I mean? But, but we can X off 50, 60 acre chunks, just by a day walking where X that out. And then that, okay, I'm not going to waste a hunt or two in this area if you're just going out there hanging and hunting and doing it that way with no postseason scouting. Because summer scouting for us, I can't do it.
I was going to say.
I don't either. My summers is pretty typically just my cameras. I'm getting them out, checking them every 4 to 6 weeks, depending where they're at. You know what I mean? And like I said, those velvet picks, we all know they're going to transition. I do see some of the bucks do come back through in the rut. Not all, but I do see some come back. The velvet picks are cool and everything else. Give you an idea of what the quality's in the area. That is one thing that does give you. You know what I mean? Maybe not the Pacific bucks that will be coming back, but it's going to give you an idea what the area holds, though, too.
Can't remember what I was going to say now.
homie is begging to rip on you, and then he was thinking about what you said, and then lost it. But yeah, that's the same thing we do. Summer scouting, we just run the trail cams. We tried to get in and do a bunch of scouting today, and summer scouting.
I think the best time to get out there is definitely in the February, March time before it starts greening up, because now you can't see shit out there.
You're
going to be able to see the sign in February, the old sign from the rut. It's still going to be there, pretty visible, and still even most of the time in early March. But now,
the grass is growing over the scrapes. We're not hunting timber. There's grass everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it makes it tough. Yeah, it makes it tough.
The rubs, they're faded, and that for the amount of big deer that are on that property, there's just no rubs.
No.
There's no tree rubs. I don't know.
When we see the first rub today.
Yeah. We were there's just, we've seen one little bitty spindly rub today.
I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah. I get excited with big primary scrapes. Give me around that bedding and stuff like that in a real thick, nasty cover. You give me a big primary scrape, I get excited. Rubs are cool. I pay attention to them, but I rather have thick security cover with a big scrape. If I find that's typically going to be a really good camera location, give me an idea what's in the area, then I'm going to hunt somewhere around here, or I can kill them right there.
Have you noticed them really big primary scrapes being on what I would call the front door to the doe bedding?
My opinion is this: when it comes to the thick cover, I've seen bucks, does all bed in the same stuff. You know what I mean? I guess this in cover in general, like I said before, what I've noticed now, I've kind of transitioned to big woods here in PA, and something I've noticed is off the thick cover around some terrain features or heavy transition, if there's a tree there they can scrape under, there's a scrape there. I've noticed. Doe bedding, buck bedding, whatever it is, I've noticed that right there. That's what I picked up on.
Yeah, I think they get out, just touch out of their bedding, and I've hunted transition lines for I don't know how long, and I don't care if it's CRP to timber, water to timber, heavy timber to open timber. That line is fire in the rut. I don't know why. They just if it's easier traveling, if they kind of got two different terrain features there, so they've maybe they can duck in the grass or bounce off in the timber. I don't know what they're doing exactly. But that transition line is huge. And I've a lot of my deer right on them lines. You know what I mean?
That transition line, like I have 2 spots I found in the big woods this year. On ones, there's a thick bedding area just off the point of a ridge. When it comes on top of the ridge, there's probably half a dozen trails that crisscross just off the point of the ridge. It's the cover's not as thick as it is on the side, but actually when I walked up on this point, I mean, I could see the trees. They were scraping under 50 yards away, and I was like, money. You know, you're going to see them bucks run on top of that point, crisscrossing in that bedding. And it was just like, oh, this is spot on. You know what I mean? And it was probably, 20, 30 yards right off the thick cover. Then I got another spot. It's probably 70 or 80 yards, maybe a shade more. There's a ditch comes up, and that's where they got the big primary scrape bear, But it's always within maybe 100 yards, I'd say, that transition, give or take. But, yeah, you can pretty much guarantee there's going to be scrapes or something there to hunt.
Yeah, that's where we see all the sign on our properties is
like and that's
big
where
scrapes,
Yeah, and that's where you find those subtle, like, if he's running the edge of that thicket, like I found a spot here not too long ago. There's basically a ditch that runs up and peters out 75 yards from the thicket, and it's a subtle funnel, but them bucks, they all going to go through there, and there's a big scrape bear. It's like, I ain't gonna say it's a guarantee, but you put 3-4 days in there in the right time frame, the right conditions, you're probably gonna have a pretty good opportunity to kill a 3.5-year-old buck in there. You know what I mean? It's just money. It's just like I told you, it's one of them spots. You just when you find them.
Yeah, we were talking today, and we plan on. We'll have 11 days, right? Mm-hmm. We plan on attacking the same area for 11 days.
In my opinion, that's the way you do it.
Not the same stand, maybe, but the same area. And I told him, I said, the amount of deer back here, the amount of hours we put on, you're going to get an encounter. Will you be successful? Maybe not. It might be 60 yards, but you're going to get an encounter. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's a win. You know what I mean? If you can get an encounter and learn a little bit more about what that deer is doing and put that in your gunny sack and move on. But you're thinking 11 days, you'd be able to release a couple arrows is what we're hoping.
Yeah. Hey, that's exactly what I do. Like I said, I to be honest with you, I get a decent amount of vacation. I'm actually off October 30th this year till December 1st. Ooh. I have an Iowa Zone 6 tag. I'll have my PA tag, and then I'll be in Ohio. So either it'll be a really great year or it's going to suck ass. I don't know yet.
There's going to be a lot of highs and a lot of suck ass.
I won't be at work for a month.
Yeah, that'd be a bonus. So
yeah, but that's how I thought. Like in Pennsylvania, when I'm in here, my primary state, once Halloween gets in November 1st, that's when I start my old day sits. And I have a couple, kill trees that I filled 2 or 3 of them. If I'm in an area and I've got 2 or 3 solid bucks, in that area, I'm not going to bounce around a whole lot in a 2-week period. You know what I mean? Maybe 3 or 4 stands I'm in back of my head, depending on access and wind direction. I'd be like, you know what? This is where I'm putting all my chips on the table. I'm hunting these 3 or 4 spots for the next 10, 12 days. And that's what I do a lot of times. Now, I may kill on the second day. I may kill on day 12. But to be honest with you, it's rare I don't kill. Not to be cocky or arrogant, but it's very rare I don't get an opportunity to kill something within that time frame. And that's just like I said, that's what's worked for me over the years.
Yeah, you're hunting the same way we are. Just go in there and outwork these deer. And
yeah, it's not easy, and it's what they call that type 2 fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's it's. I mean, you are. Like I told you, that alarm goes off 3:30 in the morning, and it's day 7, 8, 9. And it's 20 degrees out or wherever it's going.
Absolutely brutal. I don't care who you are. Once you get the first week is okay. Once you get past the first week and it's Monday, and you've been off for 7 days, you're like, nope. But then you still go, of course, but you're like, I'm not gonna. You're like, I'm not gonna see shit. I'm gonna be freezing out there. I'm not gonna pack enough food. It's gonna be brutal.
Yeah. I went to in 2010. I drew my first Zone 6 Iowa tag. Now you're sitting there like, and you think there's a boom croc behind every damn tree. You know what I mean? Like, and this is going to be a slam dunk. Well, it was day 11 in the morning of all day sits. I finally killed a mid 150. So you want to talk about playing head games with you? You're in the best place in the country, and I'm just like 11 days straight in the tree. It's like, come on. I thought this was going to be easier.
I thought this was gonna be day 2. I'm gonna be
I was like,
hanging
shit.
out.
I was like, son of a bitch, this is hard. What the hell, But then the funny thing is, I went in 2013, and I was there 20 minutes and killed a 157. So I was like, whatever.
Made up for the
I was
last
like,
time.
fine. Yeah, fine.
Average it out. I need a week.
Yeah, just give me a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're taking off Halloween and hunting to the 15th.
You guys should. I'd be very surprised you don't tag multiple bucks. I'd be very surprised.
We're gonna hit her. We're gonna hit her hard as hell. We're gonna get a couple opportunities. I know that just off of last year, what we figured out, and if the trail cameras don't lie from past intel, we got a lot of bucks at daylight. It is ridiculously much.
Yeah.
So
you guys, like I said, I think you guys are, I've been listening to you guys for a while now, and even from last season to this season, we were talking off air there. You guys really seem to be honing in, and finding that spot, that sweet spots in that area. Like I said, I'll be surprised you guys don't kill multiple bucks and at least have multiple opportunities. Like I said, anything can happen. It's hunting. You know what I mean? Stuff happens, but I'll be surprised you guys don't have multiple opportunities this year.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It gets me jacked up.
At
least someone believes in us. We may not believe it ourselves, but if someone does.
Hey, I'm a fellow grinder, but I know how the hell it is.
All right, well, let's get into this. Okay, we've done our late season prep. We're set up, and it's October 31st. We're about to go in, and we're about to do 15 days straight. What kind of tactics or tips or anything that you can give us that will give us a little bit of more edge to be successful in that rut grind? You're about to just go full send on not only deer hunting, but your body, your family. There's a lot of stuff going on. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm big in the gym. I try to take care of myself, watch what I eat. We all know come hunting season, it's hard to eat, chicken and broccoli and rice and all that stuff. It gets tough. You're actually, you're getting the calories in, the fats in, all that stuff. To me, what's important, is being comfortable. Afford the best quality gear and clothing you can. You know what I mean? I understand everybody can't afford Sitka or First Light stuff, but get what you can. You know what? Buy a piece this year, buy one piece next year, because that stuff is worth its weight in gold for sitting all day. Now I'm a saddle hunter. That's what I prefer, but I try to buy the top quality gear I can. Tree stand, saddle, whatever, sticks, bow. You're going to be more comfortable. You're mentally wise going to be in the game, and physically wise going to be in the game. And when I start my all day sits, it's a grind, but I come home, eat, I get to bed. It's early to bed, early up. You have to be mentally prepared to sit there for the next 2 weeks. And when you're in that stand, you got to be mentally prepared. It can happen any second. We all know that. Sitting there, it's 10:30 in the morning, day 7, and you haven't seen a damn thing for a week. All of a sudden, there's a 140 on a doe coming at you. You know what I mean? It's the mental part is so important when you get into that part, It wears on you fast, It really does. It wears on you.
Something really homie's really good about, he's like, got to be ready to kill. You got to be going into this hunt thinking that you're ready to kill. Not only the camera guy, or not the hunter, but the camera guy also. That camera guy's got to be ready to kill. He's got to be checking the light every 30 minutes. He can't be texting on his phone and not in the game. He's got to make sure his batteries are good. Everybody's got to be doing their steps, and it might be 70 today and windy.
Yes.
But you got to be ready to kill. You can't let
I've killed 3 or 4 bucks on my wall when it's been 75 degrees in the rut. Like, you think it's like, this is miserable, and I've killed them, or I've seen them 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 75 degrees. You're thinking, why in the hell am I out here? And then you see one up cruising. It's the rut. You just do not know.
Yeah.
You don't know. You just don't. And another thing that helps me is I take a 1-gallon Ziploc bag of food, and because I like to eat, and I time that out like 9:30 in the morning, lunchtime, at about 2 in the afternoon. I got to eat, and that kind of breaks my day up a little bit too,
Oh yeah,
right?
Get you that motivation. You're
I'm telling you, it's like 9:30. I can have a Nutty Buddy or something.
Yeah, if I can make it till 2:30, I'm smashing a Star Crunch.
You're damn right, man. Yeah, it's my reward. Yep, yep.
We do the same thing. You kind of break it out, and then in between, I just eat whole and shell peanuts. Nothing will keep you in the stand longer than in-shell peanuts. I'm telling you. I buy the 5-pound bag starter rut. from the gas station, and I'm ready to rip. Sodium's so high.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
I try to keep like a Fiber Energy. Wilderness Athlete makes some phenomenal products I've used to kind of keep you mentally wise and physically wise in the game too during the day. There's things out there, just your everyday multivitamin stuff like that. Keep your body in shape. Don't wait till 2 weeks before the season to start doing your cardio and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The better physical shape you're on, way easier to sit all day, because it sucks. I don't care what anybody says. I like it. I love it. But it still sucks at the end of the day. Your body's shot the time you're done doing it.
Yeah, that's something we I don't know what, my phone died like halfway through our walk. We were at like 5.8 miles today, and there's no way last year or the year before we could have done that. There's just physically not possible. And now we just did that, so you're like, oh man, we got to walk a mile and a half to the stand. You're like, mile and a half, let's rip.
Right.
Before it's like we're climbing the ravine and sitting there for 10 minutes catching our breath. You know what I mean? So I'm excited it's season to get here and us just be able to rip in there and see what we can do and see how we feel. Like you said, those all-day sets, no matter who you are, how tough you are, what you got going on, you're thinking, oh man, I'm just sitting in a tree. Like, I'm not doing anything. And then it's the fourth day, you're like, and especially if you're having slow hunts. It can get mentally grinding. We had one hunt yesterday. A shooter caught our ground scent first light, and then we didn't even see a doe the whole day. And to really smack us in the face, we had a possum ground scent us. I was like, this possum can't even come into range. We are done right now.
You're having a bad day. And that's part of it too. People, when you go into this, there's some guys that are masters at killing them in October and bed hunting. I've tried it. It kicked my ass. I figured, you know what? I've killed all my big bucks in a rut pretty much. I've killed some in October. I'm sticking to this because it's what works for me, because it just, like I said, it just whoops you,
Yeah, you got to find what clicks, man. And we were talking about that today. Like, it seems like sometimes we want to kill so bad when the rut hits, we're already burnt out from hunting so hard and doing all this scouting in the summer. And you're like, man, I'm just going to hunt the edge and just relax. You got
to go into it. Like, I go off track. I guess I lost my train of thought there, but like when you get into this and you're hunting that all day, you understand sometimes you just have a bad year. You know what I mean? We all have them. You know what I mean? You just might not tag one this year, and you just got to be prepared for that too. We all want to kill one, but you got to, you have to know in back of your head, it just might not be that year. You know what I mean? You're going to have bad years. That's part of the game. So you're going to be mentally prepared for that stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself, because you start putting too much pressure on yourself to kill. I was like, we probably all been like it. We're younger. You end up killing something you're not satisfied with, or you rush a shot, something happens. So that's why he said you want to mentally wise stay in the game.
Yeah, it's the only thing in life. Well, not only thing, but one of the only things in life that work doesn't equal rewards is hunting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can you can outwork everybody out there, literally everyone, and the dude that's been there 25 minutes during shotgun is dragging out the buck you've been hunting all year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look at you guys know Josh Profit. He is a hell of a hunter, killer. Look at the season he had last year.
Yeah,
he had them giants, EHD. You know what I mean? He throws you a curveball. You know what I mean? You just don't know sometimes. You know what I mean? You don't know what's sometimes just shit luck. What are you going to do?
It seems like we're always in the shit.
I was going to say, I've heard that before.
We spend a lot of time in the shit, I guess. I need some waiters to walk through this.
This year's going to be your guys' year. 4 for 4.
Oh, I don't know, man. I've been pretty solid the last 6 years. I gotta fail 1 year. I got to. I can't kill 7 years in a row.
Don't be this year. Don't be this year.
Yeah, don't be this year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what me. I got 3 tags. I'm thinking. I guess we were talking. I said I've been kind of out of the game for the last couple of years. I went through. I had divorced, got remarried, kid, all that stuff. So I've just been hunting Pennsylvania. Pretty much since 2013, and leading up to that, I was killing some pretty good bucks. Then life hits me inside the head, and it's like, well, shit. And now it's like I'm kind of back in the game here, and I got 3 tags this year, and I'm fired up. I'm in my groove. I got everything lined up, so it's like, come on. I'm hoping for my best year ever, but this will be the year I have a shit year, you know?
Yeah, same thing. We've never been prepared for season more than we are now, and we won't even.
Same.
I
Same.
I didn't say today, we're not even going to see a shooter this year. As I don't have a dry spot on my body.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It is like you said. I mean, you can work your ass off and not get rewarded, but you know they want to say luck and all that stuff. But you know, the more you put into this and the more time you put out there, your odds do go way up. Public, private, whatever. You know, your odds do go up, and you will be consistent. You know what I mean? Once you get to a certain point, you're going to be consistent every year. You know.
Yeah, that's just the main goal. You know. My wife is always like, "Why are you so hard on yourself about it?" I'm like, I work all year for this one thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's not at any time. It's not like I'm putting in the week and then I'm giving it a break. It's all year, and I just want to kill one nice buck. That's it. Like, it doesn't seem that hard to do, and you put 365 days for I would say 364.
Yeah.
Christmas and kids' birthdays are white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 360. We'll go 360, and you know you all year. That's what you're thinking about. You know, and you just want it one time. And I'm telling her, I'm about if I haven't killed by about the 12th or 13th of November.
Bullshit. October 12th or 13th of October. Nah, this is shit.
Yeah, I'm like a whiny schoolgirl out there.
Oh yeah, I get the same shit here from my wife.
What am I doing wrong? My wife's like, why are you always like complaining and whining about stuff? Don't you like hunting? I'm like, yeah, I love it. It's just getting my ass whooped.
Yeah, you know what the crazy thing is, and it's like it seems like I'll get that point to where in the season, like it's just gonna be one of them years. It's gonna, you know, I'm just not gonna kill one. And then the next day you kill one, it's like, well, shit. You know what I mean?
This is the best year ever had.
Yeah, it's like it's the greatest year ever.
Yeah, I knew exactly what I was doing the whole time. Yeah. Exactly how my season goes. October 15th, I'm like, man, I'm the worst hunter ever.
Yeah.
November 2nd, I kill. Damn, I'm good at this shit.
You're the world's best hunter. Yep.
I'm like, pretty decent today. Just got lucky that something tripped by me.
Tell you, man, 10 seconds, it change it.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. You're exactly right. You know, and like I said, a lot of you'll get some people that bash people who hunt strictly their right. Oh, it's all luck, blah blah blah. But you know what? I'll take that 10 seconds of fame. That's all right. Yeah. Every year I'll take that son of a bitch. You know,
that's fine. Last episode or the episode before, we see the biggest deer. Oh, it's on Where to Hunt. We see the biggest deer ever downwind of doe bedding in the rut. That's like where we consistently see the giants. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're with a doe. Yeah. And it's the buck that hasn't daylighted on cam yet, and then boom, there he is. You're like, wow, this thing isn't a mythical creature. He actually is here. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like what Homie was saying earlier about me seeing them bedding areas. Like I said, I do see the bucks and does both bed sometimes in similar areas. That's why I don't think I sometimes always pay attention to is this strictly doe or what it is. I'm always looking just for cover. That's me. That's kind of how I take it. You know what I mean? But one thing I think it was actually you guys had Chad on. This episode this week or whatever, you guys were talking, with Exodus and about the does. Pay attention to the does on your camera. You know what? Summertime through the fall, whatever, pay attention to those does. You got a concentration of does coming in to scrape or wherever you have, pay attention to that because I can guarantee you come November, he's going to be there.
Yeah, we pulled cam today and it was all does. And they were doing exactly what they were supposed to. You know what I mean? We're like, okay.
Yeah.
Does
they're going to move around a little bit with food and stuff to get changed, but for the most part, they're going to be in that general area. And then bucks, that's where, the cameras and your data come into play. Then you look at this picture and say, okay, them bucks are in here November 3rd through the 9th. You remember that the following year, to be in these one or two stands that time of year. That's what's used with that historic data off them cameras. Yeah. You can pinpoint exactly down to almost the day when you should be in them spots and killing.
Yeah, because I feel like you get a picture of a buck daylight in October. Okay, he got up early, cold front coming. He's going to a different food source. He's moving to his fall range. Something's going on. You're not 100% sure what he's doing. Mm-hmm. If you get a picture from the 1st of November to the 15th of November of a deer in daylight, he's either with a doe or looking for a doe in that area.
Yep.
There's no, he's going to food, he's doing this, he's going to water. It's just, he's there because there's does there. You know what I mean? So it's easier to break down in my mind that that's why he's there and that's why I need to be in there because there's a doe in there, and then everybody says something that we haven't seen yet. The within 3 days thing that everybody says.
We're gonna try that this year, but
Yeah.
hopefully it's not Magnum going through there because Magnum's already dead.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna try the 3-day deal this year and see if it banks out. A buck is within the same area within 3 days. So we're gonna try that. A lot of people say that happens. You know what I mean? And we're gonna.
What are they saying? Like, do you see him on camera and he's in there for like a 3-day window?
Yeah, like last year he was here. Some people say it's down to like the hour.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes.
Yes.
But last year he was in this area. November 3rd. From the 1st to the 5th, with 3 days each way, he's going to be back in that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I tell you what, like, you guys know Chad and them Exodus guys. Those guys over there know their shit. And I was fortunate enough to meet Chad this year and them guys. And I went on a scouting trip with them guys. And, I always thought, just put a camera out, blah, blah. When I started seeing the data pulled from them cameras and seeing how those deer would come in at a certain date, like they would be in there November, say 3rd through the 9th. And then what's crazy there wouldn't be no damn deer before it, no damn deer after that. But then that 28-day cycle, when them does come back in, boom, they were there again. It was crazy. You could almost set a watch to it. It was crazy to see, and boy, was it eye-opening to see how important those cameras can be.
Oh, that's cool, man. I didn't.
Yeah.
It'd been nice to
it
have
was
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
They had that one camera. It was like nothing. Here's the deer. Then there was nothing again. And then it was like the does were cycling back in. There they were again. It was crazy to see that, just how fine-tuned that was.
Yeah, they know.
Just crazy.
They're like, all right, 28 sunsets. I'm coming back.
Yeah,
I'll be
it was
back,
crazy.
baby.
Just
I'll
the
be
time
back.
for a month later, boom, there they are again, Yeah, it was crazy to see some stuff, But like I said, it was really eye-opening. You talk to those guys, they run hundreds of cameras. They have such a large data pool, So I said, those guys, what they're doing over there and what they're doing for the hunting community, guys need to pay attention to them. They know their shit when it comes to cameras. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're running so many cameras, and this year with the project they're doing, they got multiple different states, and it's gonna be really cool to compile that together and
about that. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, and understand, if the dates coincide. That's gonna be super cool. You know what I mean? Or like, if it's somewhere not too far away and the weather's similar, well, this deer was there in the morning, he was there in the evening. See if anything coincides, or there's a wind switch at noon. You know what I mean? Like, you could look at that weather of that day and really see. And that's gonna be cool for people that aren't even in the project.
Yeah.
Well, this buck was daylighting this day, and he was going this way. Why was he doing that? You can look at someone else's trail cam pictures and in your brain try to dissect why that deer was doing that. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I tell you, them cameras, and now the cell cameras, in my opinion, them cell cameras, you put a cell camera in a killer's hands, that's deadly. You look at some of them guys from like the Whitetail Diction over there, Justin Hollingworth, all them guys, geez, man.
Yeah, he's running like 15.
Yeah, those guys are already a damn killer, and you give them something like this. Them guys just lay them down.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
They're just
elite.
smashing. We got one. We got a cell cam right now that is just white hot. It's got to be so close to this deer's bedding, and he doesn't even know it's there. He just walks right past
I think
it.
it might be 10, 12 yards from his bed.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, we were like, he's got to be right in there. And then it's 92, and he was up at like 5.
Yeah, right, just before 5.
Yeah, 4:58 he was up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
that
like 92
crazy.
out. Feels like 99, and I'm like, oh, dude, we're right on top of this Joker, dude. There's no way he's up moving that far from his bed this early. So
damn, I got 2 renders. I'm actually going out of state next week. I'm leaving next Friday, heading out of state. I got 2 renders to get up and a couple lift 2s. Area I'm going, the cell signal's kind of rough, but this will be my first time using the cell cams. I'm kind of excited. I hope I get service, and I'm really curious to see what I get on there. So
they're either super jack you up or super frustrating, because if you get no deer on them, you're like, what the hell, man?
yeah.
Like our new private piece cams right now, they were liquid hot. They were like lava hot when we first put them out, man. It was like giant, you know what I mean? And now they're like doe, coon, doe.
Ever since that dog came through.
Yeah. I got a border collie twice in daylight. Every deer's gone.
Yeah, we got a problem down here. There's damn bears in Pennsylvania. I had one camera eaten, and I swear I posted a video the other day. It got into my scrape and tore the shit out of it, and it's just like, oh my god, every camera has a damn bear on it, I swear.
Jeez.
There's a lot of bears up there in the big woods, man.
Yeah, there's a ton of them, that's for sure.
That's pretty cool. A guy like us, we're like, yeah, it'd be cool to shoot
I
one of
know,
those. You're
I
probably
know.
like, hell, I could do that every day of the week up here. I'm
they're
tired of these
kind of
damn things.
they're almost kind of a nuisance. I got a couple buddies, they're diehard bear hunters. I'm thinking, here's the picks, go kill the damn things.
Go kill
you know.
Yeah. I'd like to kill one. That'd be about it. You know what I mean? Just kill one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just experience it. I might like it a lot, but more than likely, I cannot stop thinking about whitetails more for 3 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you, man.
Until I can just go out there and just absolutely slam a buck, and it's not fun anymore, and I don't get my ass kicked every year, then I might try to kill a bear.
I think that's a part of it. I think it's that ass kicking part. I don't know if that's why we're I don't know. We just keep going back for more or what.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everybody loves a good ass whooping.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're good for that too. Like you said, after a couple weeks in a row chasing them, it's like, why in the hell am I doing this again?
It takes
and then
us
you know what?
3
You get the
years,
magical days. It's a magical day pops up. You're getting up dragging ass. You know how it is. You get in the woods and it's not even daybreak, and you hear him grunting, chasing, and they're like, "Yeah, that's why I'm here."
You're like,
and that's just
what
awesome.
I do it for, right?
It's always on that day that you're like, I
Yep.
might sleep in today, and then you just go ahead and get up and go. It's always that day that it's fire out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's just why you do it, man. You get them magical days, a hot doe comes by, and it's just like, it's phenomenal hunting.
Yeah, those are what we live for. Those even people that don't hunt the rut, everybody's talking about November, chasing November.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's one of my top shows to watch, and their whole emphasis is November. You know what I mean? And just all them guys out there, all them different bucks. I mean, a lot of people getting it done. Just not me. That's one of the worst things about the rut, too. You're in that damn tree stand, you're like, this guy just killed a slob. This guy just killed a slob. And then you're like, anybody seeing anything moving?
Yeah.
Right,
and that's right.
Going.
And that's the right, That's what happens sometimes. The guy 2 ridges over, it's the greatest day ever he's ever had, kills a 140, and you're sitting there haven't seen a damn fawn yet, know?
Yeah. We're in the fawn spot 90% of the time.
We're definitely in the spike buck spot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We smash some spike bucks.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, man, I'm super jacked for the rut, dude. I absolutely, like I said, we were homie was like, I got a feeling this year, man. I'm like, you're going to jinx us. You're jinxing us right now. Just thinking about how good we're going to do. And the trail cam pull today is just utter trash.
Yeah. Hey, that happened. You know what? It's been, I know my trail cameras, I just started getting some really good bucks hitting scrapes here the last camera pull. It was pretty slow through the summer. It's been, I don't know about you guys, it has been hot and dry up until about the last week or so here.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're moving very much with the weather. I mean, it was, I swear to God, 90 degrees and humid every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I think now it looks like them bucks, you're getting some cooler evenings, some rain's moved in. They're going to start doing the shift here. I think it's just going to get better here till the season now with the cameras.
Yeah, our acorn flats white hot with does. There's a ton of acorns on the ground.
Yep, that's what I've been seeing. Probably 2 weeks ago, I started seeing acorns already on the ground.
Yeah, that's making them change. And then, like you said, this hot weather, it ain't rained here. The clover fields and stuff on the public are just brown. Like, they mowed it and baled it, you know what I mean? And they cut it short, and it's just, And that's where a lot of our summer picks were coming from, them going to them clover alfalfa fields. And the bean fields are slowed up because they're not getting out there till night. The glassing's slowed down. Even driving around looking for a doe is tough. You know what I mean? They're just not out.
Yep.
They're hanging back in the woods. And even you walk through an open field, and then you go into the woods, you're like, man, it's quite a bit cooler in here. You know what I mean? You get a little shade. Mm-hmm. And those deer know that. They don't want to – they're staying in those low bottoms where it's cooler and –
yeah.
The buck we had was walking right down the creek, knee deep. He's like, I'm just going to walk right out of the creek. I ain't even getting out of this thing.
Yeah. So. Yeah. The season of change is coming now, though, man. Once they lose that velvet,
I know.
Fall starts coming. It's just a whole – like I said, I like summer picks. All that's cool. You know what I mean? It gets you excited. But when I start getting pictures in October, then game on. You know what I mean? Especially mid-October on, then it's game on for me.
Summer trail cams are the worst. Hanging them.
Oh,
you got a bush or a twig hitting it, getting 98 blanks a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just absolute. Every time you go pull them, it's hot. You know what I mean? And like if we could just hunt woods, like if we had normal woods where we didn't have to bushwhack our way in to hunt these stuff, it wouldn't be so bad. But man, homie almost had to drag me 100 yards and then break, and then I'd go back and drag him 100 yards today. It was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. So we got our intel. We're in the rut now. It's after that 15-day. I want to have you break down that second rut period. I know you talked about it a little bit. Do you see any sign there or have any good luck, after that first rut around that Thanksgiving, late November? Do you have any good luck there?
For me, like I said, our season typically this year here, they gave us an extra week of archery. I think we got like November 19th this year, but typically we're done like 12th of November. Like sometimes when it's really getting good, we're done arch hunting. Then see, our rifle season typically comes in around Thanksgiving, the weekend of Thanksgiving. It was always that Monday after, and that's typically where you would see, like I would see the secondary rut. When I was hunting private property, on public you don't really see it because of the pressure. Now, when I've hunted some private, yes, I've seen it. I've seen bucks on does. When I've hunted the Midwest, December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, I've done real good, muzzleloader, stuff like that. I've seen bucks on does, stuff like that. I don't have a whole lot of experience archery hunting that time of day. It's typically, or that time of month, but it's typically, it's rifle or muzzleloader. I've had pretty good success then. You know what I mean? But I've seen it. But I've seen that, 28 days or whatever, or fawn cycle in, or whatever it is. I've had some success there. I've had beginning of December. I've never really been a late season hunter or anything past that. To be honest, I'm usually tagged out, and I'm just getting ready for next season. Now, like I said, when I was with those Exodus guys, checking their camera pulls, I was really surprised seeing activity. December, January, February. It was pretty cool to see. You know what I mean? That cycle coming around all the time and then does cycling back in. It was pretty cool to see around the scrapes, seeing that activity.
Yeah, that's something me and homies never killed a buck late season. I mean, we've been close, to some. You almost killed the bracket buck a couple years ago, and I almost killed him once the year before. And that it seems like our shotgun season comes in, and then the weekend between the two shotgun seasons, it's white hot for us. Like there's a little bit of second rut going. And when would that be? Like
so the shotgun's always the weekend before and the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so the weekend in between, or the Thanksgiving weekend, is always good. And then the week after, I don't know, maybe it's just the pressure. All the gun hunters aren't out there. But then after that second shotgun, it just light switch, shut down.
Shut down.
You gotta have some cold weather. This year we're running 5 mobile cams, and we got a shitload of ag next to stuff that has no ag. So I'm hoping that we could run those mobile cams on the edge, and something starts daylight, and we go in there and kill them. If we're not tagged out before then, but more than likely that is not going to be the case.
Yeah, like I said, it's always been December 3rd, 4th. Actually, I've hunted Illinois, and I was on the eastern side. It was December 3rd, 4th. I killed a 140s class 9. I killed out there in muzzleloader. I think it was to be your guy's second shotgun season. I think it was. And he was on a doe hard. He was just on her, and ended up shooting a muzzleloader. She got him in trouble.
Nice. Yeah, that's a lot of people see good chasing and stuff. And I feel like if you're on somewhere right there, that second shotgun season, if you could find a place that hasn't been pressured a lot, then you have all the deer. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But for us, the deer, we were limited on our private ground, and then the public ground shut down, because they shut down for, waterfowl and stuff.
Yeah.
So that really hurts us. After the 15th of November, we were really hurting to even see a buck, you know what I mean? And now this year we got this giant ag ground. There's very little trees on it.
I was going to say giant fields.
Yeah, we got giant fields, you know what I mean? And it's all corn, so hopefully there's a lot of bucks out there eating corn. And they don't chisel plow it, so that's a primo.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, like this will be my first year. I told you I'm off the whole month of November. If the stars align, hopefully I'll kill one in Iowa and get an opportunity in Pennsylvania, or already have one down. And I'll be in Ohio this year, and I'll be kind of in around that Thanksgiving time. probably down there. I never hunted that time, so I'm really curious because I hear it's supposed to be that's when the big boys are up on their feet. So I'm real curious to see how that week before Thanksgiving goes, and see how that pans out.
Nice. Yeah. You have to let us know, man. You got my number now, but
we're
gonna wrap this up, man. If you could tell anybody that's wanting to have the best rut hunt of the year, give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
Just what I mean. First, boots on the ground in the postseason. Become a better woodsman. You can kill one anywhere once you get that, and prepare for the grind. Dark to dark, you'll kill them.
That right there is what you call a get you jacked up as hell episode.
I'm ready to be on day 6 out there.
Oh, God. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm going to kill on day 1. Day 2, I'm going to be dragging stuff out, Then I'll be like, okay, yeah, day 3, let's rip, But, yeah, man, if you can't tell, we are incredibly jacked to just get out there in the woods. And I would say that we're rut hunters, too. We try to get it done. Mm-hmm. We killed them in October. You've killed them in October. I've killed them in October. Yeah. We'll try our hardest, but we know that the chances substantially go up when November rolls around. So, all right, guys, remember, always do the right thing. Try to leave a legacy, and Whitetail Legacies out until next Wednesday when we're coming in your ear holes with some more whitetail content. Probably never guessed that was coming.
How about some more bush cam content?
Yes, bush cam. We love you guys. Whitetail Legacy out.